What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today we're back with the Tesla, my 2013 P85 that I got for $7,800 with 272,000 miles on the odometer. We've gone through a lot with this car. We've fixed quite a bit, but there's still more to do. So here it is, my near 300,000 mile 2013 Tesla P85. This thing is such a joy to own and drive, but it's giving me some problems, and we just got through reinstalling the interior after ripping out quite a bit of the dashboard to fix a heater slash air conditioner issue. The blower motor refused to function. If we put our foot on the brake, hopefully, I haven't been down here in a few days, hopefully the heat comes on. There it is. There it is. That is really good to know. We're going to turn off heated seats. I'm going to turn off those heated seats. We're going to turn off auto, put it on vent only. Turn off the air conditioner. We don't need AC. We just want heat. And it is functioning just like it's supposed to. There we go. That is good. Good, good, good. I fixed it and then I abandoned the car. I just left it sitting down here. So here it is in all of its glory. TPMS light is still flashing. I've got a couple things I need to do, but I need to finish what I got going on down here with it before I take it back to the city, because getting it on the lift is kind of a pain. As you can see, it is a very wide car. It is difficult for me by myself to center this car, which makes it very difficult to get my bridge jack in position on this thing to jack it up. Here's what we got today. In this video, my goal is to fix these very simple things. This should not be difficult, but because I said that, it's going to give us hell. This is a toe link. This is basically for the in and out of the rear wheel. I have a bad bushing on the passenger side toe link in the rear, and that is causing my rear wheel, when I accelerate and decelerate, to kind of wobble back and forth, and it feels like you're kind of driving on ice. It feels kind of uncontrolled, and I don't like that. Next, we have some funky noises from the front end going over bumps at low speeds. I suspect, I have not really gone in and diagnosed, but I suspect that the noise, because I've heard it 1,000 times before, is probably the sway bar end links. I got all of this stuff from EV Parts Online, not sponsored. I paid for all of this with my own money. We have the left and we have the right, and yes, they are different, apparently. And then we have the bolt for the toe link, because Tesla apparently accidentally, on all of these early models, they accidentally installed the bolt backwards. So you can't get it out, because the bolt, once you get the nut off the back, the bolt knocks into the battery pack. You would have to lower the subframe or drop the battery to take out one bolt. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to take a Sawzall and I'm going to just cut. Or I'm going to take my grinding disc, something. I'm going to cut the bolt and we're going to pop it out. That's what we're going to do. We'll loosen it up and probably cut the tip off of this side and then pull the bolt or the nut and the rest of the bolt out from the other side. Then we'll reinstall it backwards. This is a cammed bolt, as you can see. This is how you adjust the toe on that rear wheel, and both sides have cams. Okay, so very important. We put it back as close to the way it is as possible. Let me get this thing up in the air, and I guess we'll start with the easy stuff first. Let's jump on these front sway bar end links. All right, are you guys ready for this? Let's see how difficult this is going to be. I thought for sure this is going to be easy, but it's a Tesla, so it's probably not going to be easy. These are labeled, they came labeled left and right, which is really nice of them to tell you which side they go on. Since we know this goes on the right side, I think we can go ahead and take this out of its package, and we'll want to make sure that we know exactly how this thing is supposed to go into the car. You can see it's got these, well, it's very bendy. I assume it only goes on one way. It's probably a safe assumption, but we'll get down here and kind of look. It looks like it's going to go in, well, exactly like this, I think. So I'm going to set this with the top facing up here. We have a 15 right here, and if I'm lucky, it won't spin. We'll be able to just knock this thing loose. I'm going to have to flip it upside down here. These usually want to spin. Look at that. So far, so good. Unfortunately, the bottom part is not going to be so cooperative because it's buried. I can't get a socket on there to save my life. So we're going to put this 15 ratcheting wrench on here. We're going to kind of just ugga-dug it. Good Lord. Like I said, we're going to... Wow. All right. Huh. Whew, ugga-dug it is, right? Let's do it like this. Oh my God. I can't do it. All right. Equalizer time. It's important to remember that if something doesn't want to go or it fights you, you should never, ever attempt to force it, right? I mean, isn't that what we all learn when we're young? If something doesn't fit, don't try to force it. Well, oh, not to worry. I'm not trying to force anything. There we go. See? I'm just gently persuading. Just like that, see? We'll just gently persuade it to come off, just like that. Now, if we're lucky, it's spinning. Of course it is. Of course it is. So when this happens, put yourself an Allen wrench in the middle of it, and then just continue doing this. The Allen wrench found itself a nice, happy home up against the, well, the hub assembly. And we've about got it done. There we go. Should be able to pull the Allen head back, take it out. And if you're wondering what size it is, if I can find a size on it, I'll be happy to tell you. It's a 3/16. 3/16 fit perfectly. You should be able to just unscrew it, and this whole thing should just pop right on out, just like that. Now, with any luck, which I don't have much of, but with any luck, this hopefully will just slide right back in. Come on. There we go. Make sure it's all straight. Looks good. Simply put our nuts back on. And look at that. Hey, man, listen. That wasn't too bad, guys. That wasn't too bad at all. Just snug these bad boys up. And I'm hopeful, because I did not actually diagnose this. I heard the noise and I said, I know what that is. That's those sway bar end links. Well, I could absolutely be wrong. It may not be the sway bar end links, but I figure with almost 300,000 miles on them and the entire suspension on this car is original, probably safe to replace them. And I've heard that noise 1,000 times, and I'm telling you, I think this is what it is. With any luck, we can just put this on here and it'll tighten right on down. That's a no. No, it will not. It spins, which means means we're going to have to use our 3/16 Allen here, and we're going to have to do it, well, this way. It will get done. We're not gonna let it screw us over. There we go. We're almost there. Oops. Maybe a few taps of the hammer, you know, just to help motivate it a little bit. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, when the previous owner of this car, it's a one-owner car, when he took it to Tesla to have this noise figured out, they told him it's completely safe to drive, but the entire suspension is corroded and it's no good. They told him the whole suspension had to be replaced, everything under the front. So it cost him about $4,500. Now, I've been under this car several times now. Me and this car have gotten very intimate with one another at this point. I've seen about every part of it that it's trying to hide from the general public, and I'm going to tell you right now, corrosion? I don't even know what they're talking about. The majority of these parts are aluminum. I don't see any corrosion on anything other than maybe a little bit of surface rust scaliness on this bottom portion of the strut. But aside from that, there's really not much corrosion anywhere. The bushings all look like they're in relatively good shape. So, I don't know about needing a whole new suspension, is what I'm trying to tell you. I think, and I've already admitted I could be wrong about this, but I think the problem is just these sway bar end links. And if that fixes them, oh man, well, I'll be very happy, obviously, but if it's literally like a $50 pair of sway bar end links and they told him he needed $4,500 worth of work, well, if I were him, I'd be pretty upset. And I'm not sure that I'd be trusting my local Tesla service department very far. Oops, did I bump you guys? I'm sorry, I apologize. Because seriously, $50 I think is what's wrong with it. I really think this is going to fix it. But I could be wrong. We'll find out. We will take the car for a drive as soon as I'm done. And we'll find out if I was right. If it still clunks when we're driving out of here because these roads are crap, believe me, you'll hear it rattling around. If it still does it, then we know we've got more work to do. But I can promise you it's not $4,500 worth of front end parts. I promise you. It's going to be something stupid and simple. And this is about as stupid and simple as you can get. Let's push this out through the bottom. Out it goes. And we simply take the new one, we line it up, and we pop it right back in where the old one came out of. And I hope that I'm right. But even if I'm wrong, it's not going to be anything crazy to fix this front end. Good Lord. Oh, these are stiff. Wow. That's what she said. Get in there. There we go. My microphone just stuck to the rotor. My mic literally just attached itself to the brake rotor and didn't want to come off. So put the nut on. Same thing on the bottom. Nut on. Who says you can't work on a Tesla? You kidding me? You serious right now? Everybody's like, they're afraid to work on these. I don't get it. The majority of like suspension components and stuff, they're very similar to regular cars, guys. It's nothing too crazy complicated. And even the electronics, even though they're a little bit more complicated than most people would be comfortable working with, it's just a car. They're just parts. This is not that hard to work on. I'm going to finish zipping this together. And we already know how it's going to work out if I try to do it this way, right? Oh, wow. Did that actually just work? No way. I won't believe it until I see it. Oh, wow. Yeah, that worked. Sweet. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we're done. Okay, we're not finished, but we're finished with the front. The new sway bar end links are installed and tightened down. I'm satisfied with it. I don't know if it's going to fix the problem, but cross your fingers for me. I think this is going to solve the issue. I'm going to put the front wheels on. I'm going to torque them down. And we're going to come back to the passenger side rear. We're going to get this thing up in the air. And we're going to get down to the real business. This is probably the most important part. The rattling in the front, although it's annoying, it's only at very low speeds over bumps. It doesn't affect the drivability. It doesn't affect the ride quality. Nothing. It just makes a little bit of noise. Once you get going fast enough, it stops making that noise altogether. It could also be the sway bar bushings as well. I didn't think about that. I may need to replace the bushings after almost 300,000 miles. Anyway, I'm going to button up the front. We're going to come back here, and we're going to see what it takes to get this toe link off and the new one installed. Welcome to the dark side. Literally, this is the dark side of the shop over here. I've got no lights over here, so it stays pretty dark. This is what we're after right here. This kind of looks like a dog leg or whatever, dog bone. And you've got, I think that's a 19 on the back. I've got a ratcheting wrench right here that's an 18. That fits nicely on the bolt side, which faces the battery. Now that may be too big, I don't know. And then I'm going to try this. This is my extendable ratchet for extra leverage. There's just not a lot of room to get in here. So you're going to go up for loose, lefty loosey, right? Let's see if we can get enough leverage here to, well, something popped, that's for sure. Maybe I need to set you guys down for this. If you have power tools, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time to use them. Once you break it loose, and you got that wrench up against the top here, you can just, nice. Now, I don't want to take that bolt all the way off, because what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to take this off. And there is a camber bolt on the back and the front. Now, it's going to be hard for me to get you guys in here, but I'm going to try. Right there is a camber bolt, and on the back side is another camber. So we got to try to put it back close to where it was so that the alignment won't be totally shot. Now, there is quite a bit of rust on that, so I'm going to take my hammer, which I don't know where it is, but I'm going to try to tap on that, push that through. Yeah, it's not going to come out on it. So I'm going to try to push this through on this side and take the Sawzall. Hopefully there's room to get in there and chop that side of the bolt off and pull it out this direction. Now, I don't recommend you try to do what I'm doing, but hopefully you can see the bolt right there. That's it. I've got it knocked out just enough, and as you can see, it's bottoming out. It's not actually on the battery. It's against the subframe. So what I'm going to have to do is get the Sawzall in there and carefully cut. I've got a nice metal blade. This is my Milwaukee. This thing is reserved for only the hardest jobs, guys. This is my 9-inch medium metal blade up to 1/16 to 5/16 of an inch. You can see it's been used. I think this is I believe this is my Diablo blade. I can't remember. Well, anyway, I'm going to get in here. I can't do both, so let me focus and hope that we don't damage something while cutting off part of my Tesla. Just in case you guys might want to see what's going on, what do you think? Should I go in from... Oh man, I don't think we can go in from that way. Well... Huh. Well, I don't have to tell you guys, but I don't think that's doing anything at all. Huh. Let's try it from the bottom. Maybe that'll... I don't think that's going to make things any better. Whoa, 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 whoa. I got news for you guys. That ain't doing nothing. Nothing at all. All right, I've switched out my blade for a Lennox laser medium thick metal blade. And I'm going to cross my fingers that this will do something, because the last one, that wasn't doing nothing, guys. Easy, easy, easy. Hey, I think we're actually making progress. We got a bite. We got a bite. She's in there. She started. This is crazy, man. I can't believe that this is that we're having to like cut. That's not long enough. Come on. We're actually making progress on this, but I got to get this bolt back through just a little bit. I'm going to try this again. See if I can get this bite back on it. We're making progress, guys, but damn, is it slow. Good Lord. Okay. I'm going to set the camera down. We'll come back if I get this off. I don't know what they made that bolt out of, but I'm here to tell you, that sucker ain't giving up. I've sprayed it down with WD-40 to help, number one, cool it off and help lube up the what's left of the bolt. I am at the end. Like, I am so close to having this thing cut through. It seems like we are so far away. I have burned up 2 blades now. Take a look at this one. This is the one that I was just using. I mean, it's burned up. So it ain't cutting anymore. I can only get so far in there. So what I did is I swapped out for a new blade. We've got another Lennox, another laser metal blade. This one's a little bit longer. I'm really going to get on it this time, guys. I think this is going to be the end. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got it. That was dirty. That was nasty. Hopefully this one comes out all right. I think that's an 18 or a 19. We have the new part right here in the new bolt. And when I said it's got a cam in it, this is what I was talking about. It kind of adjusts as you spin the bolt. And of course, the sign on the back is a cam also. And they should line up exactly the same. Let's take a look at the part that we just destroyed. I'm going to tell you, that sucker fought. I don't know what kind of hardness this bolt was made out of, but here's the cam that I got off. Here is the back half of the bolt that I ended up using this nut to get out. Thankfully, I put that on, or we would have been in big trouble. This piece, it's still a little warm, but there it is with the cam on it. The hardness on this is 10.9. That's a 10.9 bolt right there, guys. So no wonder it fought me. Here's the blade we burned up. Here's another one that's probably not in the best shape anymore. And somewhere around here, there's another one that was already in bad shape when we got started. So the rest of this should be pretty easy. I'll be honest with you, I didn't think this was going to be that difficult. I figure I got some great blades. That Milwaukee's a beast, man. It'll cut through anything. Not this. This was a bear. I chewed up the inner fender liner here just a little bit. You can see it right there with the Sawzall. I did what I had to do to get in there, man. Looks like we're down to one bolt. We take that bolt out. Cross your fingers. This thing should pop right out. You guys ready for this? It should just... Come on. It should just... Are you serious? You're going to fight me. After all that, you're still wanting to fight me. There we go. There we go. And then it's got this little wire that's stuck on here, so I guess I got to reach in here and pry that sucker off. Oh, hey. Good to see you. You sorry little, you know what? You really, yeah, you pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie. This little sucker right here, this gave me a run for my money. Supposedly this thing is all tore up. Now I'm looking at it. It sure don't look tore up, but I guess it has to be. Surprisingly, I didn't really do too much damage. So, made in Canada. 6006840-00-B RR tow link, made in Canada. There you go. I'm gonna not film putting it back together because unless something goes terribly wrong, this should be really easy and it should be pretty uneventful. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that sucked. I'm not even joking. It wasn't hard, but good Lord, that sucked. Anyway, there's the new part installed, the new bolt with the cams installed as close as I could get it. This side doesn't matter. This side also has a nut on the back of it. I found that out, so that was fun. But once you got that out and slid the new one in from the right direction, I put the cam as close as I could remember it being, and I think it's good enough. Obviously, now I'm going to have to take this thing in for an alignment, but it's probably due for one anyway, considering it's got brand new tires. So I guess it's time. Let me throw the wheel back on this, torque everything down, drop it off the lift. We're going to take this thing on a ride. We're going to find out if we successfully fixed it, because if we did, we should know. Whoa, I just about tripped. That's okay. I'm going to leave it in. I don't care. If we fixed it, if everything we did today fixed what we were trying to fix, we should have no rattles from the front end. And when we hit the throttle, the back wheel should not warp or twist left to right where it feels like the back of the car is going like, whoa, whoa. Yeah, that's a bad impression, but that's about what it feels like. I'm going to put the tire on real quick. Then we'll come back and I'll try to move that tire back and forth and we'll see if it still moves, because before there was a lot of play. There shouldn't be any play at all now. I'm nervous that the front end is still going to have that rattle, but even if it does, it doesn't matter, because this, the torque steer, that's the best way of describing it, torque steer. When you hit the throttle, when this wheel would twist one direction, I don't know which way it goes, but you'd hit the throttle, it'd twist, then the car would kind of move on you. Then when you let off and regenerative braking kicks in, it would go the other direction. Now, it was predictable, so you know how to react to it, but it was uncomfortable. So if nothing else, I think we fixed the biggest problem I had with this car, which was the heater, which was the wheel torque steer, and if we're lucky, if we're really lucky, the front end isn't going to rattle anymore. And then this car is almost completely done. All right, it's time. This car has been sitting here. I don't know if you guys were aware of it or not, but this car, since I started working on it, I didn't want to move it off the lift because it's too hard to get it on. I left this thing sitting. This car's been sitting for well over a week. It hasn't been touched. It's just sitting here, and I'm dying to get back in it and drive it again. I love the car. even when it had all its quirks, I still loved the car. I just wanted it to be, you know, right. So hopefully, I'm going to roll the windows down because that's really the best way to hear that rattling noise. We're going to let the suspension go back to where it would normally be. I'm going to crank this heat and air conditioning down to a normal setting, and then I'm going to turn it off. Let's go to the suspension. Let's raise it up a little bit because I don't want it to bottom out on the concrete as we're backing out. So we're going to raise it up just a hair, and then we should be good to go. Let me make sure we don't have it in any type of a service mode. No, everything is good. All right, so I guess we'll go to suspension, put it in reverse. As you can see, backup camera does not work. And let's gently ease her off the lift. I heard a creak, so I'm hoping that was the sway bar links, but they probably weren't. Come on, easy does it. I don't hear the rattling, guys. I don't hear the rattling. There's no rattle. No way. Let's put the suspension back to normal. There it goes. Are you serious? Gently. It's going to yell at me to put my seatbelt on. This is a bumpy road right here. I hear brakes. It's been sitting a while. That's normal. Let's take it around a really nasty back road. It's not rattling anymore. It always rattles, even the slightest of bumps. And we're hitting some pretty good ones. Even the slightest bump going 25 miles an hour or under, this thing would just be rattling like crazy. I mean, it was like brrr. This is a really nasty road right here. I'm going 12. Other than a little bit of brake noise from sitting, nothing. Wait. Wait a minute. Did I hear it? There it is. And then it's gone. So it's far, far better than it was. Before, it was constant, under like 25 miles an hour. Constant, just rattle, 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 like crazy. I'm hitting some pretty good bumps, guys, and I'm going slow. I'm not hearing anything. So, let me turn on the brights. Front trunk open. Whoa. Uh-oh. Well, that sure ain't good. We better get this back to the house, and then we'll take it on a proper test drive. Let me cripple it back. Actually, I guess I could just stop right here. That's no good. Great, here we go. Why would the trunk be open? I know for a fact I closed it. It was certainly open. I went ahead and closed it. So we should be good to go now, as long as it doesn't pop open again. If it does, then that's because I must have installed the frunk popper is actually on the passenger side under the dashboard, exactly where I was doing the heat and air conditioning work. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit if maybe I didn't get that lined up right, the cable or something. Let me buckle up. Let's take it on a proper drive. All right. I've got the windows rolled up. We're going to take it out on the road. There it is. Yeah, it's nowhere near what it was, but obviously something over there is still making some noise. So I want to get past the house that tends to cause me problems. I want to make sure I'm going under the speed limit so there's no issues. But once we get past his house, we're gonna tap on the accelerator. We're gonna see if this car still feels like it's about to slide out from under you in the rear end. It wasn't horrible. I am exaggerating. It wasn't that bad, but it was uncomfortable. It made you really cautious when accelerating and decelerating. So here it goes up to 55, and then immediately it goes up to 65. Do we have brights? All right. So you feel it the most from about 25 when you hit the gas. So why don't we do that now? Oh, wow. Good God. Oh, wow. It's been a long time since I've driven this car. It's been a long time. This car feels fast again. I've gotten so used to driving the Cadillac ELR that this car feels fast. All right, so here we are, 46. Yeah, straight and true. It does not. No, not at all. Man, before the back end got a little squirrely. Never felt like it was super dangerous, but it's something you really had to understand and know was coming, especially if the roads were wet or if they were going to be icy. Not a problem. Even in the quarter, you can hit the throttle smooth as silk. You'll notice now that we're going a decent speed, we're going 62. There's no rattling from the front end at all. It only does it at low speeds, and it's far better than it was before. So I think we fixed it somewhat. So I have no doubt that the sway bar end links were to blame a little bit. I'm gonna have to dig into the front end a little bit more. I'm gonna take it to get an alignment. Obviously, it's really important after changing that toe link that we get the whole car aligned, especially since we got brand new wheels and tires. I wanna get the alignment done, get the TPMS sensors activated, and make sure we got no codes left. And after that, well, I guess we can come back because we still have to contend with that rear view camera. And apparently, from what I've seen online, that sucker is buried, and it is a major, we're talking like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours to change that stupid little camera that should only be held in by a couple of screws. Well, here's where I'm at with it, guys. We still have a slight rattle from this side. This front corner is where it's coming from. So if any of you have experienced this with your Tesla, you have any idea what it might be, give me some ideas down below. But we have fixed most everything that needed to be fixed on this car. Obviously, I will address that rattling sound. I can't live with noises like that. It drives me crazy. So I will have to get that addressed. I will take it in for an alignment. While it's getting an alignment, I'll ask them to check. Maybe they can find out what it is and it won't cost me anything. I'm also going to have them activate the TPMS sensors while we're doing it at the same time. So that'll kill, you know, at least 2 birds with 1 stone. TPMS sensors and an alignment at once. And then that'll just leave us figuring out what to and how to fix this rattling in the front. And then, of course, the camera in the back, which I need to grab it real quick and move it so I don't forget where it is. But this is the new camera module right here. This is an updated camera. I bought it used on eBay, and this thing was not cheap. Even used, it was still like $350 for this camera. So very expensive little piece of hardware. I'm going to throw these in the back of the Model S, just in case I have to jack it up, or in case I'll probably take it to Firestone. And if they don't have the pucks for it, I want to make sure they're, you know, sitting right there, no excuses. But we're close, guys. This wheel does not flex anymore. It rides nice and smooth and straight down the road. Heat and air conditioning works like it's supposed to. I'm happy. I'm really happy. The car's come a long way since we got it. We got just a little bit further to go with it, and I think we're going to have ourselves a wonderful little car. With that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing this. It's nice to get something put back together and find out you at least fixed something. So I'm thrilled to death. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Drop your comments below and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.